Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're installing some coilovers on the R33. So I've got some BC racing coilovers. These are the V1 version. I think they're like the first level sort of coilovers, but it's probably all that I need. They are really, they're really tall, the rear coilovers on this car, compared to the front ones here. You can see they're a lot shorter. I'm gonna take the stock struts off that car, and then I'll put them and I'll measure them, and then I'll make these a bit, probably an inch or so smaller, maybe like 40 millimeters.
Take your time when talking to a nigga, I don't waste none. Knock you off your feet and then I flee before the jakes come. Sick of hearing cases from these niggas who ain't.
So these coilovers are pretty easy to get off. There's just one nut over there, if you can see that, and then there is two up behind the back seat. So I've already pulled out the back seat, and you can probably see there's just two bolts back there, two nuts that we have to grab out, and then that is the whole thing done. It's a bit difficult to get in and film all this, but there is two 10mm bolts, one there and one up the top over there, because they're covering up that little 12mm nut down there. So we're going to get those two off, get that plate off.
No food on our plate, just the meals that we stole. Yeah. Whoa, yeah.
Alright, we got both those nuts off. There you go, you can see that. We're gonna go take the bottom one off, and we'll probably give this whole section a clean. It's pretty dirty up there. I don't know how so much dust and stuff got up there, but we'll give that a clean after we get the other one out. So I finally got this little bolt out. I ended up snapping this at first. It's a 1/2 inch to 3/8 inch adapter, and then I tried using my ratchet with the jack handle, and ended up just ruining this. Like, this thing is munted now, won't spin at all. And I was just stressing because I was like, how am I going to go to the hardware shop and get a 17mm with a 1/2 inch so I can use my breaker bar? But I went to the shed to grab the breaker bar and completely forgot that I bought a whole set ages ago. I bought this and I just never really used it, so I forgot about it, because I only really use that little red box over there with the set, and it doesn't have any 17s with the 1/2 inch in it. But anyway, we got that off. We're going to take this spring strut out and go measure it up next to the other one and try and adjust it to the right height. Then we're going to do the other rear one, and then we'll move on to the front, I guess. We've got them next to each other, so this one is already adjusted a little bit less than this one. So I might just adjust it a little bit further, and we can always just readjust it when it's in the car. Got the rear coilover in now. It's all looking good, all tightened up. So yeah, we're going to do the other rear one now, adjust them, get that sitting right, and then we'll move on to the fronts. Alright, so I'm done with the rear now. Look at that. It's nice and tucked up in the rear, and then look at the front. That is disgusting. So we're going to move on to the fronts now. It took so much longer than I thought to do that side, but yeah, this side is hopefully going to be a bit easier because I can just open the engine bay and undo those, undo the front thing there. So we'll get started with that. So while we're doing the fronts, we may as well chuck these front camber arms in, because they like, you need to take the coilovers out to put those in anyway. So I might adjust them, sort of just, I don't know, I might do like halfway and see where it sits. But yeah, it is pretty annoying to adjust those, because you can't adjust them while they're bolted in. You have to unbolt this side and like spin it. We'll get started on the coilovers first. we'll take the stock springs out, we'll sort these out, and then we'll put the other coilovers in, and then we'll drop the car and see how it looks. Alright guys, we got the front wheel off. You can see all the suspension bits there, so that's where the new camber arms will go. The curved one will go on that side, then it won't be connected to the other one. The straight one will go on that side. So yeah, we're going to start undoing it's just one bolt down here too, and then there's two at the top in the engine bay, but under here they've rolled the fenders, or maybe even just put the wheels on and the wheels have rolled it, but they've taken off the fender lining and left the bolts in there. So I'm guessing that's what my wheel has been scrubbing on the whole time. So I'm going to take those bolts out. I don't know why they would leave them in there, but so I just noticed we've got a bit of scrub through for this harness here as well, so I'm just going to zip tie that back up there so that doesn't happen again. That's pretty dodgy. Oh, you can see there, that's the rear window washer, and you can see how it's got that flat spot on it. That's from the wheel actually rubbing on it. And it looks like there has been some rubbing up here as well, so I'm going to try and tuck all this stuff back as far as I can. Just so we have no issues with the wheel hitting it. Righto, I think I've got it up and tucked as far as I can get it. Hopefully this big fat section here doesn't rub. I put some more tape around it because it was rubbing through a little bit. But I think you can actually take it and put it above that whole rail, but I'd have to take the fender off to do that, and I'm just hoping that this is good enough for now. Otherwise I'll do that at a later date, because you don't want your wires to be rubbed through and then connect to different wires. It's not good. It'll lead to a lot of different electrical problems, so the best thing is to not have that happen. But we're going to go ahead and get the coil, I'll get the spring out of here first, and then we'll try and take this thing off. These for the rear coilovers, because the rear coilovers were just too big. I've got these set, they're both at about 101. This one, it's about 101.07, and this one is, oh, it's exactly the same. Yeah, as long as it's within like a millimeter or two, it's fine. So we're going to go ahead and chuck one of these in the car. You can see on the little thing here, it's just got front. It doesn't have like front left or front right, so I think they are both exactly the same, and you just put it in. So there is no left or right. So I'm going to chuck one of these in and we'll see. Well, actually, I'm going to chuck one of these in, but I've got to do the front upper control arms first. Alright, so these control arms, pretty much it's just one long bolt through there, and you've got one bolt on each side that you have to take out, and then this whole thing will sort of drop down a little bit, and we'll get ready to put the other ones in. I'm probably going to just adjust it sort of 5 to 10 millimeters further in than this, and we'll see how it sits on the car after that, and then we can always adjust it. I think to adjust them you just got to take this one bolt out and then just adjust them to the same length, and you should be all good to go. Alright guys, so we've got the front upper camber arms on now. I've got the coilover bolted in at the bottom. Yeah, so these should be adjusted just a little bit less than what it was before, a little bit less than stock. But I'm just going to use the jack to move this up, because it's pretty, like, I can't really get it further than there. So I'm going to use the jack up the whole hub. I'll probably jack it up from the bottom of the knuckle and bolt those top two nuts on. This side will be done. I'll repeat the same thing on that side, and then I'll come back when it's all done. Don't want to refilm the whole front on the other side. Alright, so I've just got the jack on there, and now the coilovers are lined up. Bolt those top two on, and that's it for this side. Alright, so we got this side complete now. Coilovers in there. Everything's looking good. I also did a quick oil change as well. Changed the filter down there. Yeah, just while the car was up, I thought I should do that. Had some oil sitting around anyway. So it's pretty much ready to drop down on the ground now and fill up with oil. Tighten the front wheels, and then yeah, it's pretty much done. Hopefully when we put the car down, the camber isn't too excessive, and yeah, the heights are all pretty good. So yeah, let's chuck that front wheel on, drop her down, put some oil in, tighten the wheels and see what happens. Alright, so I'm just going to drive it back off the wood blocks, but it looks like the rear is pretty perfect. That's how I wanted it. Just a little tiny bit of tuck, shouldn't rub, should be good. It's way lower than it was. The front is actually raised up a lot higher than I thought it would be, but you can always adjust it down until it doesn't rub, but I think that will be pretty good for the moment. The rear fitment's looking really nice. And the front isn't too bad. I would like to drop it just a little bit. I'd like to match the front, just have matching fitment on the front and the back. And then I think it'll look really good. So I'll probably adjust these tomorrow, just adjust it down. But I'm just going to go for a drive, see how it feels. I'm 100% sure it's not going to rub it at that height, but yeah. Alright guys, so I've got the car all sorted out now, adjusted to where I want it. I did lower the front quite a bit. It took me like 3 attempts, but this is how it's looking now. It's a bit higher than the back, but it looks pretty good, so I'm just going to keep it like that. The rear I haven't really touched. I got that first attempt and that's pretty much how I want it. So yeah, that's how the car's looking now. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be the end of this video. I do still need to get the Hikers delete sorted because I want to do a drift event. There's a drift event on Saturday. It's called Sideways Saturdays. So I'm going to try and do that, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it done in time. I did just find out that you have to actually press out the ball joints and press in new bearings, or press in, I think they're rubber. It's not too hard to press them back in, but to get the ball joints out I might have to buy another tool, so I'll try to get that sorted, but if not, I've got like 2 days to do that, so I don't know if I'll get it done. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be the end of the video guys. If you did enjoy, hit the like button down below, also subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one.
Take your time when talking to a nigga, I don't waste none. Knock you off your feet and then I flee before the jakes come. Sick of hearing cases from these niggas who ain't face none, but I'ma be the nigga that they feelin' when the day come. Thirsty for the